What's up, scampers? This video is going to cover all of my scamp hacks, how I got this thing organized, dialed in, and ready for the road. Very first thing I want to cover is important because it could actually affect your health. If you get a brand new scamp like I did, the heat is going to kick out fumes the first time you use it. So it's important to run it for about 30 minutes without anybody inside, and then let it air out for another 30 minutes before you occupy it and use the heat while you're in it. I actually had mine kick on while I was asleep, and I woke up with a really bad headache and some nausea from the fumes. So definitely let your heater air out if your scamp is brand new. Now let's cover a couple of things that came with your scamp. If you have an awning, you got one of these, and you should have one of these for your stabilizer jacks. The problem with both of these is they don't really fit in any of the cabinets well. This one doesn't fit in anything but the bathroom if you have a bathroom. And this one can fit in a couple cabinets, but it rattles around, it falls over, it takes up a lot of space. So I'm going to show you what I did to make these more organized. If you have an awning, then Scamp provided you one of these, and they also provided these little brackets for you to mount it with. But you see how hard those are to remove? They gave you screws to screw it in. I didn't want to put holes in my Scamp, and I feel like if I did, that's so tight, I might rip this out of the fiberglass or whatever I screwed it into. So I decided not to mount it permanently. Let me show you what I did to make this more user-friendly. So pretty immediately, I noticed this space right here that's so narrow, you couldn't really mount anything else, but it's kind of the perfect fit for this awning opener. So mounted vertically, this packs away open, and it takes up almost no space, and it's a space I wouldn't be using anyway. So the way I made this much more user-friendly is I hung command picture hanging strips, which work like Velcro. I adhered a couple to the wall here, and then I cut them to fit the brackets that came with the awning opener. So with those applied to both of those, I can just come up here, line them up, press it in, and it's really stuck there. I've done a ton of miles with it mounted this way, and it hasn't come loose once. So instead of prying it out of the bracket every time, I can just pull it away real easily and put it back just as easily. So that's hack number one. So for my stabilizer jack tool, I wanted to utilize vertical space as well. This cabinet is the perfect size to be able to mount it here and close it without it interfering with the latch. So all I did was got some more command items. These are cable holders that are meant for like coax cables or extension cords, and a couple of hooks here. So I can slide this out of the cable holders, up out of the hooks, use it, and when it's time to put it away, I just line it up with those cable holders, slide it in there, slide it on there, line it up with the hooks. The hooks hold it in place. The cable holders keep it really snug to the door. It hasn't come loose, and it's making use of vertical space that I wouldn't use for anything else. Next, let's talk about some important stuff that the Scamp didn't come with. Something I think that's really interesting is that Scamp doesn't provide a way to unlock the bathroom door from the outside if you accidentally lock it behind you on the way out. There aren't any screws to access. You would basically have to peel this whole thing off the door to be able to get in. You'd probably do a lot of damage. It seems like it'd be a huge hassle. So since I think it'd be pretty hard to not know somebody was in the bathroom, I just disengaged the lock with a piece of electrical tape. You click this little button up to lock the door and down to unlock it. So I just put it in the unlock position, put electrical tape across it so it can't accidentally slip up or get bumped on the way out, and save myself a ton of hassle because it's all on the back side. So if you lock it and close it, you basically have to pry this thing off the door to get back in. So there's another little tip for you. Something else that Scamp doesn't come with is a toilet paper holder. I don't know why they don't have one installed, but I got this one off of Amazon. It's pretty easy. You pop it open, plop your toilet paper in there, but more importantly, it's waterproof. So if you take a shower in there, it's going to keep your toilet paper dry. It even has a little phone holder slot if you're into that kind of thing. And another thing Scamps don't have is a ton of storage for things. So I put a couple of these bins right here in the shower, again, utilizing the vertical space. Great for toiletries. Not so great if you actually shower in here. It doesn't have any holes in the bottom. So if you were going to actually shower in here a lot, you might want to either drill some holes in there or get some bathroom specific ones to let the water drain out. But I don't shower in here a ton. This is more just a place to put extra doodads and some toiletries. And while we're in the bathroom, command hooks everywhere. Command hooks everywhere. I've got a hanging laundry bag hanging from those and some towels, and they haven't come loose once. So command hooks for everything. I also have a couple more hooks by the front door. One for the truck keys, one for the Scamp keys, which has a ridiculous amount of keys for all the ways I lock up this trailer to keep it from getting stolen, which you probably saw in my other video. If you haven't seen that, I'll link it at the end so you can go watch that one. But yeah, command hooks everywhere. Also, everything I talk about, I'll link below in the description, make it real easy for you. Got a couple more of those storage bins out here for soaps and spices. You still have plenty of room to open up your glass top if you've got one. It won't obstruct that. Next up, paper towel holder. This is just an adhesive one that I put underneath the counter here. I put a rubber band around it because in transit, these things were flying everywhere. And even with the rubber band, it was flying off in transit and I would find it on the floor or on the bed. It's crazy the amount of places this thing can go. So next to it, I got this scrubbing soap dispenser that has a little loop on it. So when I hang that on the end there, the paper towels can't slide off in transit. So utilizing a couple of things I already needed to work together for one purpose. And continuing on with more storage solutions, I got a couple of little Velcro pouches that I just wrap my phone cables up in. I put my phone in when I'm sleeping at night. It's a place to leave it. A lot of stuff was accumulating on the counter, and it gets really annoying when you wake up and want to make coffee or something right away, especially with 2 of us in here. So having little pouches for each of our phones and our cables was really nice to get them out of the way. And I just stuck little Velcro pieces to the back of these things since they're vinyl on the back, and then the Velcro sticks right to the Scamp fur. So I just added these pieces. Haven't had a problem yet. It's been great. It's nice to have that extra storage, especially near the bed, but not anywhere you need to put your feet at night. And speaking of Velcro, I got a 4-pack of these little Velcro pouches, which are super awesome. They're very strong Velcro. I put this one above the door, and I've got some headlamps and a flashlight in there. I put this hook here for jacket storage. You can never have too many hooks. I swear, use the vertical space. I used another one of those Velcro things in here to hold all my extra little doodads. I've got some fuses in there, some tools, the Scamp manuals if I need them. There's another one up there with my first aid kit in it. And I used the 4th one right here above the toilet for a little emergency toilet paper situation. And I just put that one in a Ziploc bag in case I ever want to use the shower, that I don't accidentally soak that toilet paper too. And yet again, with some more command products, I hung my remote for my fan. It's the new one that's got the remote. I hung that right here on the side of this cabinet because I can't imagine what else I would use this space for. It comes with a little bracket, but instead of screwing it in, I used more of that picture hanging stuff that works like Velcro. So this is all damage free, and I can, if I ever decide to sell the Scamp or change my mind on places I want to put stuff, I can just move it and there won't be any damage or any holes I have to patch or anything like that. And probably by far my most favorite hack is somewhere to put shoes. There isn't enough floor space in here, and I didn't want to sacrifice any cabinet space, so I got these shoe holders that come in a 4-pack, and they mount directly to the wall with adhesive. So I put 2 there by the front door, 1 around the corner, 1 on the other side. I could keep going up the wall if I wanted to, but I think I'm probably going to utilize that space for something else. But yeah, having the shoes off the floor and a place to put 4 sets of shoes is a game changer. And if you're like me and you store an ungodly amount of things underneath the bed, get yourself a tension bar. Goes right across the bottom here. If you use kind of bulky items in the front to hold all the little items in the back, keeps everything steady in transit. So nothing has come out once and keeps it from becoming a hot mess. You know how things shake around in the trailer. So get yourself some tension rods. If you know me, you know I'm a huge fan of Reflectix. The stuff is incredible. It not only insulates, it blocks out the light. Look at the difference. So if you like to sleep in, you can cut this stuff just a little bit bigger than the windowsill here, and it'll hold itself in with tension. And check this out. Let's kill the lights. Whoop. Not bad. It's broad daylight out there, and the only light coming in is from the vent above. And I even have a solution for that. You can add 4 little Velcro pieces to the corners of some Reflectix. And then it's hard to do with one hand, but stick it on up there. You can cover your ceiling vent to keep the light out to sleep in. Let's try it again. Yeah, look how much darker it is in here. And it is the middle of the afternoon, so I put Reflectix in literally every window, and you can see how much light it blocks out. The stuff's incredible. Velcro it over the roof vent. I even cut some for the little bathroom vent, just to help keep the heat out on really hot days. It doesn't block out as much light, but it's nice to keep the heat and the sun off all the plastic, which would make it fragile. So Reflectix, kids. Something else that Scamps don't come with is a mirror. So in this cabinet right here on the back of the door, I installed this one with some damage-free adhesive at the top and those cable holders at the bottom. And it fits perfectly in that little spot, and it's pretty much head height for a lot of us. I'm 5'7", so that's a good height for most people right there. All right, if you made it this far into the video, I have saved you the biggest game changer of all, because honestly, washing dishes in this Scamp sucks. So get yourself 2 of these wash basins, not just 1, 2. You have 1 for soapy water, 1 for clean water. You can wash, and rinse. They are the perfect size to fit into the camp sink. So if you need to drain into your gray water tank, you can just pop this out and drain it right in. It's got a strainer to keep food out of there, and they are collapsible pretty easily. So they pack away really small. So you can wash your dishes outside at the campground table, and it is so much easier to wash and put your dishes there than try to fit them all into the tiny Scamp kitchen. So get yourself some wash basins. So there you have it. Those are my initial hacks to make this place more livable. It definitely makes a big difference when there are 2 of us crammed in here. If you want to see how I hacked the outside of this thing, you can check out my getting ready to pick up the Scamp video. I'll put here or here. And that talks about all the things I did to the outside of the Scamp to keep it from getting stolen when I leave it unattended. So thank you for watching. If you found value in this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.